Hey everybody, it is more or less first thing in the morning. Apologize for all the grunge on the glass and everything. A lot of that's algae growing on the inside, but a lot of that is actually dried salt on the glass on the outside. But despite the grunge on the glass, you can clearly see all of the ick that is still all over those silver dollars, and there's another one right up there that is also covered in ick. So I'm getting really frustrated with this. I don't know how to kill this stuff. Last night I sat here for about 3 hours and I brought the tank temperature up to, well, it was 92 degrees at this end of the tank, and it was about 93 degrees at this end of the tank, and the heater itself said 94 degrees down there in the bottom corner, which is as high as that little heater will go. The heater was not heating the tank very quickly or very effectively because it's such a small heater, and we are down near the floor on my basement, so it was kind of struggling to get it up there. So I was putting cups of hot water in the tank and waiting a little while and then adding more hot water, and I brought the tank temperature up into at least the coolest end of the tank was 92 degrees, and I let it sit there for an hour, and then I let the tank start coming back down. And right now on this end of the tank we're still sitting at 88.7 degrees, and down here we're sitting at 90. So unfortunately I found both of my clown plecos were dead this morning. They didn't survive the night. I kind of expected that with those high temperatures, but the fish don't look any better either. I wasn't really expecting the white spots to just vanish overnight, but I was hoping that they would at least be better looking or some kind of improvement. I don't know if we're going to see improvement over the next couple of days, just because I've, in theory, killed the parasite by raising it to those temperatures. The parasites are still going to be embedded in the skin, and it's going to take, some time for the fish's bodies to work those little dead organisms out of the skin, and that's when the white spots will start going away. Once the physical irritants that are in the fish's skin are gone, the white spots will start going away. Those white spots are like the equivalent of like a little pimple, where the fish's body is reacting to the irritant in the skin. So they don't just drop off like their little external specks that are attached to the fish. Those are actually part of the fish's body that have to recover. And again, I didn't expect the white spots to simply be gone overnight, but I was hoping that they would be showing some kind of improvement, and they're really not. So right now we've got way high temperatures. I've got the tank loaded up with as much salt as I can put in there. I've got a tablespoon per gallon. We've got Ick X going on in the tank right now, and I looked at the ingredients on this morning. This is formaldehyde, methanol, and malachite green. Methanol being one of the key ingredients in Windex. So we've got methanol, formaldehyde, and malachite green going on in here. I've ordered some pure malachite green. I've also ordered some methyl blue, and I've ordered more of the Ick X because I'm almost out of this. I've gone through almost an entire bottle of Ick X trying to kill this ick off with high temperatures, salt, the whole 9 yards. Now, the only suggestion I've gotten, other than what I'm already doing, is to remove all of the gravel and decor and all that kind of stuff. And while I understand the reasoning behind that, that is not going to prevent my medication from working. The ick is only vulnerable to the medication during the free swimming life cycle, the free swimming part of its life cycle, and that's not going to change whether I've got substrate in there or not. If more and more are coming out of the substrate, that doesn't make sense either. They should not be increasing in numbers. They should be dying off, and I should get less and less of them until they're gone. The fact that I raised the tank temperature last night, theoretically, if you get them above 91 degrees, the ick parasite should simply die off altogether and just be dead. Whether it's in the fish's body, whether it's in the substrate, it should just be dead at that temperature. So, again, in theory, I wiped out the ick in the tank last night. I should have killed it off in one fell swoop, And then in addition to that, I'm keeping the temperature way elevated, I'm keeping the salt in the tank, and I'm keeping the medication in the tank. The salt alone should be enough to treat the ick, the temperature alone should be enough to treat the ick, and the medication alone should be enough to treat the ick, yet all three of them combined is not seeming to have any impact whatsoever on this unkillable strain of ick I've come across. I just don't know what to do to actually get rid of this stuff. I was told that I'm using the improper term when I say it's a new strain of ick or an unkillable strain of ick. That would imply that it's either a bacterium or a virus, and that's how you get a new strain of something. I was told to think of the ick more like a mosquito being a parasitic organism. And in that analogy, if we want to think about it as a mosquito, you can have separate populations of mosquitoes that are the exact same species. One of those populations can be exposed to adverse weather conditions and pesticides and environmental toxins and can develop resistance to those things, whereas a separate population of the exact same species might not be able to withstand those weather conditions or toxins or pesticides or whatever and would succumb to them very quickly. So you can have disease-resistant subgroups or whatever you want to call those little, pockets of organisms that have adapted to new conditions. So whatever is going on, I've got some strain of ick that does not seem to be affected by temperature, medication, salt. I just don't know what to do. I'm getting really frustrated with this. Again, last night my blasting the temperature way up into the 90s was almost just like a last desperate act of frustration. If these don't survive, then I'm just not buying fish from that store for quite a while until I've spoken with them and I'm comfortable that they've cleared out this strain, because of the last 4 times I've bought fish from this store, I've brought this ick home, and it's been the most difficult ick I've ever dealt with in my life. Normally, just a week's worth of Ick Attack and it's gone. A week worth of warmer temperatures and it's gone. This stuff just seems to be unkillable, and I don't know what else to do. So there's today's frustrated morning update. I'll keep you all posted on what's going on, so make sure you subscribe and you won't miss that or anything else. So thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon in the next one.